Been a hectic place in every community all over the Mississippi Delta, because they've got to be one center for everybody to get communications. But here in Greenville, we have the Washington County Emergency Management Agency, which is located in the Washington County Courthouse.
It certainly has, and it's been the nerve center of disaster operations and relief. And our Melanie Dean is standing by there live with an update. Melanie?
Ice Storm 94 has probably brought the most attention of all to the Washington County Emergency Management Agency. Phones have been ringing off the wall, I think, from Wednesday night. Crews have been out working, and as you can see, the phone systems are still tied up. County workers are in helping staff and man the phone systems. We're talking right now, we've got Larry Lindsay, who is with the Emergency Management Agency. I'm going to let you tell me your exact title, if you would, Larry.
I'm the Deputy Director of Emergency Management.
Okay. Now, you have been working this really since, I guess, Wednesday night is when the phone calls started ringing.
I wasn't here Wednesday and Thursday, but Joel and then have been in here since Wednesday night.
Today, day 6, what are the biggest questions you're getting from people? A lot of it is having to do with supplies. People are in desperate need of supplies without power.
Of course, the people that were the hardest hit were a lot of people who had the smallest resources to begin with, people who didn't have the money to rent a generator, lost everything in their freezers, just really hard hit, and we've had a lot of requests. We did have some donated food donated from some churches south of Washington County, and we used all of that food. We distributed it on a first-come, first-served basis until it was all gone. Now the request that we're getting, we still have a lot of people that don't have water. We're getting requests for generators, and as the generators become available, we're putting them on the community water wells.
Right. I think as people often, think that we talk about Greenville so much, some of the rural areas of the county are being forgotten, and that is not the case.
Now, this is the Emergency Operations Center for Washington County, and every citizen in Washington County has the same rights, whether he lives on Washington Avenue or in Avon.
Right, what is the next step for the Emergency Management Agency? You're helping people in some cases, even on some private property, but that's in very limited supply, and that's one of the biggest things I think people have been asking you too.
We're doing everything that we can for everybody in the county. The cleanup and the limb removal that we're doing on the private property, we're doing it for the elderly people who have no other resource. We're doing it where it's a danger to the property and to the people themselves, and we're doing it to just whatever we can for the people who are the most needy.
All right, we also, and Richard is going to have to be the roving photographer here, we're having to drag Joel Sandifer into the picture, the camera-shy director of the Washington County Emergency Management Agency. Now, y'all have really come into the spotlight in this. People have been calling you that didn't even know who you were a month ago.
Yeah, the phone's been ringing off the walls here. Of course, we're getting the federal people in here to do a disaster check, doing a survey, damage assessment, to see if we can be, declared a disaster, federal declared disaster.
All right, what has been one of the biggest advantages of having the Emergency Management Agency?
Well, here, of course, we're able to...
You're also doubling, by the way, it's kind of a civil defense. It's about a similar situation.
Well, civil defense is actually what emergency management is. We just, cover all type of disasters under emergency management, but here we're capable of communicating with every law enforcement agency and fire agency in the county.
All right, so even when phone lines went down, you had systems to back it up.
Right, our system never went down. We had communications, with the exception of a few hours there at first till we get a generator online.
All right, I know your phones are backed up all day long, and thank goodness they stopped for just a minute while we got on the air. What do people need to do if they need the help? As far as the services, you're providing some services for the private sector when it's an emergency situation. What do people need to do, and how can they qualify?
Well, like Larry just said, if, elderly people, and all they got to do is call this office, and we'll see about getting someone out there to help them as soon as we can. It's just each individual case, is on its own.
it is sad that an emergency like this has provided what is probably the biggest PR tool you could have ever had. Do you think this has made more people aware of what you are and why you exist?
You know, right. You know, this is what this agency is all about. This is what we've been, you know, trying to prepare for from the beginning.
Do you think you've been prepared?
As you know, as best we could. You know, of course, who can prepare for, you know, total outage of all electricity in the county and, you know, most of your water systems.
Joel, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
All right.
We also have with us Jamie McGowan, the president of the Washington County Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors hasn't really had a technical, what do you say, official meeting, Mr. McGowan, but you've all been here, you've all been working the situation. Tell me what the status is for Washington County now. You had lunch with Trent Lott, and federal disaster may be on the way.
Yeah, I was told today at noon that, you know, possibly within the next 24 to 36 hours, the president will sign the declaration. Right now, in the county, as Joel and Larry have said, we've got generators on community water systems, getting water to people. We are providing tree pickup and limbs pickup as fast as we can. And people got to understand, though, it may be a month before we get to all of them.
It doesn't ever seem to go as fast as you want it to. How fast is Washington County going?
We are moving faster than we really expected, and that's due to the fact that, for instance, Hinds County Sheriff's Department has sent 52 inmates in here that are working with us, cutting and hauling. We've got 30 inmates from Parchman. We've got dump trucks in here from Rankin County, Hinds County, Yazoo County, Issaquah County, Warren County. Everybody's helping us.
For the county, right now, the county, Washington County, can't really go on a private property to help clean limbs unless it is an emergency situation. Will there be a difference if we are declared a disaster area?
It won't really be a difference where we can go if we're declared a disaster area. What it'll mean, grants can become available to the individual to receive reimbursement for whatever expense they're out getting their property cleaned up.
Mr. McGowan, thanks so much. Any outlying communities real quickly without water still?
The only one I know of, Metcalf, as I saw this afternoon, had a pump burned up, and they've got to get that pump replaced.
Mr. McGowan, thanks for joining us, and thank you for being with us. Disaster Ice Storm 94. We'll go back to our studios with Randy and Cheryl.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks, Melanie. And coming up, we'll hear from Greenville